video is Abbi, Leslie, and Naada Moustafa, and we got lab number 6, which is cellular respiration. So in the beginning of the lab, they like to fill a syringe with a cotton ball that is soaked in potassium hydroxide, and then on top of it, they add germinated peas, and then they put it into water and let it sit there for a couple minutes, and as it's sitting there, oxygen bubbles start to pop up, and they keep getting closer and closer to the inside of the syringe. And then they just keep repeating this with ungerminated peas, and it happens the same way with the oxygen bubbles. They keep going towards the ungerminated peas. And then they do it with earthworms. Again, the oxygen bubbles. And then they do it with glass beads as a controlled variable to keep a measurement that is the same throughout the entire lab.
Yeah, so the purpose of the lab is to find the rate of respiration, and that is the rate at which oxygen is consumed. So we talked about the potassium hydroxide, and the potassium hydroxide will convert the carbon dioxide into a solid. So we will only be focusing on the oxygen. And so yeah, the volume inside when it's put into the water, so the volume inside will decrease, and the oxygen bubbles, as we showed, will just keep getting closer in time. And then in the end, we look at the chart. And here,
and this is all taken on a respirometer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry.
That's fine. So the blue represents the germinating peas, and it has the highest rate of respiration because it consumed the most oxygen. And then after that, it's the worms, and then the dry peas.
And the dry peas are the lowest because they aren't activated, so they don't go through cellular respiration until the water hits them.
So here is just a chart showing the process of cellular respiration, and that in plants they use photosynthesis to produce sugar, and then they break down the sugar through cellular respiration. And there's glycolysis, Krebs cycle, and the electron transport chain. And this is just a review of how cellular respiration works. So this here shows the process with sugar and oxygen producing carbon dioxide, H2O, and ATP. So breaking down glucose and oxygen into carbon dioxide, water, and ATP. And that's the process of cellular respiration to provide energy.